with the 14 tackles, did a heck of a job, and our third downs were incredible. So great pressure up front. It starts there. And then likewise on the offensive side, Pat had some really good things he did out there, and the offensive line I thought did a heck of a job. I was probably most happy for Pacheco coming home and putting up a 4.5 yard per carry shot out there, which was good, and Kareem did some good things there too. Thornton, great to get him involved in the game plan. I thought he played well. But again, it all starts up front. That defensive line, Brian's done a nice job as their personnel department of getting these defensive linemen. That's as good a defensive line as there is in this league. And then offensively, he's got some good things going. He's got Wilson there, which is a plus, and then you got a young quarterback behind him, which is also a plus. So the sky's the limit, and they've got good receivers. So it's we looked at the tape. We looked at them playing Washington and barely squeaking, Washington barely squeaking out the win. We watched
time, with that defensive line, and so I wish I could have got it a little bit further and made an easier catch, but a tremendous catch by him on that right there, and then securing it and getting us to the one so we can score a touchdown.
You were always going. That was your first read on that play.
Yeah, it's a kind of a dual read where it's kind of a man versus zone type read, and so having the man coverage. We had a play where it was kind of you run towards the post and then back out, and he did a good job of winning. Obviously, I was rolling the other way, so it was a little further throw, but just giving him a chance to make a play and a guy making a play.
When you went to the sideline, you're intending that it's going to be to type long specifically?
I like the play just in general. So just knowing that they probably could play man, that was a good big matchup alert. And so going over there talking with Nags and Coach Girardi and Coach Reid and saying, like, if it's man, go there. If it's zone, we have another place we can get to. And then all else fails, you throw the ball short, get some more yards so we can kick a field goal. And so having that time, we were all on the same page and we were able to go out there and execute.
You guys were in a better rhythm in the second half. I guess what can you say that maybe was different from the first half to the second?
We just executed better. I think the first few drives, we drove the ball really well down the football field. We just had mistakes and penalties and, alignment stuff.
Losing is so small. So I know New York people are very passionate. So give Brian an opportunity, man. He's got a great personality for this sport and for you people here. So anyways, by that time, yours.
What stands out most about the Tyquan Thornton catch there on the down
Oh, both of them. Right, he had the one. Back to back, Pat went to him, and it was a nice job, making the second one go there. So, and he's got, he's showing some things. So that's he's a guy that I know Juju spoke highly of when he was at the Patriots. I mentioned Bill Belichick gave him big compliments, and he's come in here and done nothing but work hard. And so it's nice to see him getting an opportunity.
Andy, did Patrick, was that the call of the play that had you go right back to him on that second play, or was that Patrick's read all the way?
Yeah, it was Patrick. Yeah.
It wasn't by your design.
Nags and I tag team those things, so give Nags the credit on that.
And just to come out in the second half, it looked like some juice and execution that maybe you hadn't had. What
on tackle? So I'm not going to try to do that again, but that was we'll throw the ball forward from now on.
There was a spot on that we saw on TV, and Coach talked about it with Travis over on the sideline. You guys get emotional about these things. What was Travis like out there in the huddles and all that? It was.
He's Travis. He's just normal Travis. He's a guy that loves it. He loves it. He's passionate about it, and that's what's made him so great. And so I have not seen what y'all are talking about, but I know Coach Reid loves it. I know Travis loves it. I know they love each other, and that's what you want out of the greats.
Patrick, on the first touchdown pass, it seemed like maybe Tyquan wasn't your first option. Just does that play a culmination of the trust you sort of developed in him to see sort of on that back shoulder to see that he's open?
Yeah, for sure. Just knowing kind of the coverage, I think that was a good job by him. Knowing that we were trying to kind of get something to Juju or Travis out in the flat, and then kind of having a spot up route for Juju, and how their double guy, kind of like last week with the Eagles, double guy ran to get to Travis and get out of the way. It puts Tyquan in a one-on-one situation there at the backside, and he did a good job getting open and then being in the right spot. So when I turn to get to that third progression, he's right in my vision. I can make the throw.
Play that you made on.
The stadium lights at MetLife had barely flickered on before the tension and the air became almost electric. For the Kansas City Chiefs, this wasn't just another road game. It was a test of character, of will, of everything that separates a good team from a great one. The New York Giants, bolstered by their home crowd and defensive swagger, were ready to make every yard a battle. The first quarter saw both teams trading blows, neither willing to blink, both looking for that first crack in the armor. But as the night unfolded, it became clear that this game would be remembered not for the scoreboard alone, but for the moments of grit, heart, and the unmistakable connection between coach and players. What truly stood out in the chaos was one name, Travis Kelce. No one seemed surprised. He'd built his reputation on shining brightest when the pressure mounted. Fans watched, waiting for him to do what he always did, make the impossible look routine. It happened in the second quarter. The Chiefs, searching for momentum, found it in Kelce's hands. The play was nothing short of breathtaking. Patrick Mahomes, under fire and running out of options, spotted Kelce threading the narrowest of seams between two Giants defenders. The ball left Mahomes' hands and seemed to hang in the air for an eternity. Then Kelce rose, snatched it from the sky, spun away from one tackler, stiff-armed another, and darted upfield. In an instant, the Chiefs had life. The MetLife crowd gasped, then groaned. The sideline erupted. But what made that play legendary wasn't just the athleticism. It was what it awakened in the team. Kelce's catch didn't just move the chains. It shifted the energy of the entire game. Teammates rallied. The offense, what had looked hesitant and fragmented, suddenly found cohesion. The Chiefs began to look like themselves. Fast, dangerous, impossible to predict. What happened next was just as telling. On the very next drive, Mahomes went right back to Kelce. Back-to-back plays, back-to-back moments of trust. This wasn't by design. Andy Reid later admitted. It was Patrick's Reid, his confidence in his tight end. It was a quarterback and receiver in perfect sync, seeing the field through the same eyes. That's the kind of connection you can't coach, can't force. It's forged in the heat of countless battles. Andy Reid, ever the architect, gave credit to his staff, especially Nagy, who helped tag-team the play calls. But even the best-laid plans need players willing to seize the moment. That's what set Kelce apart. He became the calm in the storm, the safety valve and the spark plug, orchestrating the rhythm of the game with each decisive movement. Yet, the game was far from flawless. Mistakes crept in, a missed block here, a penalty there, moments when the Chiefs looked in danger of unraveling. Reid, in his post-game remarks, was candid about the need for better execution. We had too many mistakes. One thing here, one thing there. Sometimes you're just trying too hard and dumb things can happen. You have to stay on top of that, he reflected. His words were a reminder that greatness isn't about playing perfectly, but about rallying together when things go wrong. And rally they did. Perhaps the most electrifying moment came just before halftime, when Mahomes, refusing to give up on a broken play, chased down a lateral and ripped the ball away from a Giants defender. It was the kind of play that makes teammates believe. That's how he rolls, Reid said, unable to hide his admiration. He's all in. He's going to do whatever it takes to come out on top. Plays like that don't just save possessions. They ignite teams. They tell every player in the huddle that effort matters, that fight is contagious. The second half began with a new energy. The Chiefs, having survived the worst, played with a looseness and confidence that had been missing. The mistakes faded. The execution sharpened. On defense, they clamped down, forcing turnovers and frustrating the Giants' best receivers. Turnovers are a beautiful thing, Reid grinned. They had managed to contain the Giants' #1 receiver, a feat not many could claim. But as the clock wound down and the Chiefs pulled away, the story of the night was written not just in numbers, but in the emotion on the sideline. Kelce, who finished with over 100 yards receiving and a series of clutch plays, was everywhere, cheering teammates, firing up the crowd, leading by example. He was the heart beating at the center of everything. When Andy Reid stepped into the post-game press conference, he didn't dwell on tactics or stats. He talked about Kelce. His voice, usually so steady, was thick with feeling. I've coached a lot of players in my career, but Travis is truly special, Reid said quietly. He's not just an excellent athlete, but a leader a great teammate. Tonight, once again, he proved why he is the soul of this team. Those words hung in the air, echoing the bond that makes football more than just a game. That night at MetLife was a reminder that the thrill of victory isn't just about points or trophies. It's about the moments of courage, the flashes of brilliance, and the people who rise when it matters most. And for anyone lucky enough to watch, it was a night to remember, a night when heart, talent, and trust turned a game into something unforgettable.